Hey there folks, Wrel here. This is your weekly update for June 30th, 2014. In community news, it's been a very exciting week. Firstly, if you've stepped into PlanetSide 2 lately, you'd know that the new continent, Hossin, has been released. But it's been released under the Early Expedition title, which basically means that Hossin is playable, but it's still a work in progress. This really isn't a huge deal though, because the map is a lot of fun so far, it looks really good, and it's only going to get better over time. So if you've been waiting for a big, healthy change to the game before coming back, then that would be the first one. The second is that outfit recruitment and outfit base captures are now in the game. So if you have an outfit and you want to recruit people, it's much easier to do that. The interface is a bit buggy at the moment, but they're going to be polishing it up over the next couple of weeks, so hopefully all of that goes well. When it comes to base captures, if your outfit does the majority of the work while taking a base, you get to put your name on it and you get to put your outfit's decal on it. That's really cool. It's probably one of the most important features in the game so far, for reasons that I want to discuss in a Thoughts on Better Gaming episode, but basically what it comes down to is a sense of ownership of something in the game, and that's a very powerful element that's been sorely lacking thus far. On top of Hossin, outfit recruitment, and base captures, we now have the first phase of continent locking in place. So if you take all the territory or win an alert on a continent, you lock out the continent until a new lock is placed on another continent. So right now you can only have one lock at a time, so there will always be 3 continents to play on at any given moment. If you lock out a continent, it provides a faction-wide bonus depending on which continent you're locking out. Amarish cuts your infantry purchases in half, Azimir cuts your mechanized purchases in half, and Indar cuts your aerospace purchases in half. And if you manage to lock out Hossin, your entire faction is going to be getting a 25% experience bonus. If you want to check out all the details of the patch notes, they are linked in the description below if you're interested. So now that we've gotten all of those new fun bits and pieces, it also seems like we're going to be getting weather effects in PlanetSide 2. Last week, Matt Higbee tweeted out some images of weather on Amarish, including rain and volumetric clouds. Flying Ferret put some photos in a small gallery, which is linked in the description below. If you're concerned about how it's going to affect your performance, I am too. Who can really say? I think one of the devs actually mentioned it having little to no impact on performance, but who knows how that'll actually turn out when all is said and done. A bit earlier into last week, Watterson and Matherson were finally merged, so we've become Emerald, which is a combination of the two, and there's a good deal more fighting, which is always nice. But what's probably more noteworthy right now is that European server merges are being discussed, as per a tweet sent out by John Smedley. I don't really know the populations of your guys' servers, but if you're playing in ghost towns, that's something we obviously don't want, and hopefully some servers can get merged and give everybody a much more entertaining time. Another thing worth noting, and I actually meant to do this last week, but if you have a PSG account, you should be migrating to SOE. As of tomorrow, July 1st, PSG will no longer be hosting or supporting games from SOE, meaning that if you don't complete the migration process, you won't be able to play. However, you will have a 90-day window to actually make that move, you just won't be able to play until it's done. So if you're using PSG, you should probably read the thread that I have linked in the description below so that you can complete the process and play the game. The last thing that I'd like to mention is that you can get a free NS11P, which is the platinum version of the NS11A, if you type in the code Summer Reward. You click the redeem code button, you write the code in the cash shop, and then you go into your notifications and you claim it on your character. And after you do that, if you want the weapon on one of your other characters, you're going to need to log out, and then you log back in on your new character and enter the code and claim the weapon again. So that's it. Summer Reward, free NS11P. I don't know how long it's going to last, so you might want to get on it. As far as the channel goes, on Tuesday we released another Engineer kill streak because Engineer is my favorite class ever, alongside Drifter Light Assault, which follows in a close second. On Thursday we released a review of the Awareness implant, which is definitely one of the most powerful implants in the game right now, and also it would be worth having your annotations on if you decide to watch this video, as there were a couple of questions that I now know the answer to and I can elaborate on. If you've seen the video already, you'll notice that I shoot the proxy mine myself when I'm testing it, which could have led to the proxy mine not registering awareness for the person who actually laid it. However, Clipto and I retested this, and even if I walk over the landmine per usual, it still does not trigger awareness. So that's good, and the video is still completely accurate. On Friday, we put out a fun little video about a handful of things that you can do thanks to the Engineer's new ammo pack deployable mechanics, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that, which is always nice. On Sunday, we talked a little bit about infantry logistics in PlanetSide 2. Very good feedback on that video, and a lot of people want to see more logistics, a lot of people do not, and a lot of people want to see more logistics but think that the ideas that I offered up would not work or would not necessarily work. And any feedback is good feedback, and because of it, I've already thought up a handful of different methods that could achieve the same sort of effects while alleviating some of the concerns that a lot of you seem to have. Lastly, we posted up a new Mass Effect Trilogy Let's Play. We're on part 4 of Mass Effect 2. In this one, we're going to go rescue my favorite character in the entire series, which is Jack, or Subject Zero. And all of the Mass Effect videos on the casual channel have the timestamps. These timestamps, they pick out all of the notable talking points throughout the video, because I don't just play through the game, I like to discuss what's good, what's bad, and kind of philosophize a bit about what's going on. But that is it. All of the links from today's video in the description below if you want to check them out. And I'm going to leave you with part of a jackhammer killstreak that I was going to use tomorrow, pending the results of a tweet that I posted earlier, but most of you wanted to see the Lynx killstreak over the jackhammer, so that's what we're going to do. Jackhammer today and Lynx tomorrow. Thanks very much, folks. Wrel signing off.